one of my NahamConCTF 2022 EU challenges during that recent competition that myself and a few other hackers hosted this past weekend, December 16th to the 17th, was actually inspired by a tweet from a fellow content creator from another great friend, actually Al has read. And I'll show the tweet in just a little bit, but I would like to showcase the challenge. This challenge is called Byepass, and it was a web challenge. I think, I don't remember, it was an easy or medium difficulty, but we'll go take a look. We'll see how this thing was built, how we solve it, and how many people did solve it during the competition. Before we dive in, hey, let's get a quick little note from today's sponsor. Thanks so much for your support. Developers are constantly changing the digital landscape, but building secure software isn't always easy, especially in growing applications worked on across massive teams. Companies end up with mountains of code, and they have to make a choice: stay competitive or stay secure. But with Snyk, you don't have to choose. Snyk helps bake security into the software development lifecycle. Snyk helps you scale and streamline by automatically scanning your code, dependencies, containers, and configuration files, finding and fixing vulnerabilities in real time. And it is super easy to use. You can sign up for free with my link below, import your repositories, and there, Snyk just finds your vulnerabilities. You can fix all these issues with just a single click. Snyk automatically opens a fixing pull request so you can just merge them into your repository and move on. And it fits seamlessly into all of your existing tools: IDEs, the command line, CI/CD pipelines, cloud infrastructure, and more. Millions of developers love Snyk. And you can see for yourself. Get started for free with my link below and develop fast and stay secure with Snyk. Alrighty, so here I am on my computer screen. Here I am inside of a Kali Linux virtual machine. I'm online at ctf.nahamcon.com. We'll hop into the challenges page and we'll scroll down to go look at the web challenges. There are a couple medium and hard web challenges to explore here. I see that Flink, Use After Exit, and Byepass were all noted as medium. However, Byepass does have the most amount of solves in that little medium tag of difficulty there. Flink with only 4, Use After Exit with about 18, but Byepass coming to the top with 176 solves. This was developed by me. However, good inspiration and some quick kudos to Al has read, who kind of helped plant the seed and get the idea going for this. The challenge prompt says, help yourself say goodbye to days gone by with our easy online service. Upload your photos to capture the memory, cherish them with friends and family, and savor the time we have together. It says retrieve the flag out of the root of the file system /flag.txt, and we can go and start this container. We do have a download that we can go and work with. It is an attachment for bypass.7zip. I'll go ahead and click on that so it downloads, and then I'll wait for this thing to go and start up. But if I go ahead and click on this link here, fingers crossed, we can move over to our say goodbye page. And this is it. This is the website that we are presented with. It says say goodbye with loving memories and photographs. I don't exactly know where I was going with the theme of this. I think I was like, oh, I do want to get Byepass in the mix there. It's a little bit of a cutesy little trick. And I don't know, buy with the BYE for Byepass. And then I still want to upload photographs. So here's some dumb, stupid filler to make it look like a silly website. Capture your favorite moments. Reinvigorate your life with memories that you had previously. This is just a bootstrap theme that I stole and wanted to work with here. But the learn more button will actually bring us back down here, but the start saving memories is where we can really interact with this application here. Save memories if you upload your favorite pictures of you and your loved ones. However, there is a note here: for better security, we limit file extensions that could compromise our service. Okay. So I do need to drop a file to upload. If I go ahead and click on, here, let's submit a file. Oh, okay. I need to actually click on something here. It says error, no file was supplied. Probably a goofy, dumb interface, but I do need to click on that page here. Okay, so I went ahead and saved a little folder for me to try and prep this demo. I did throw it into temp Byepass, and I have a little image. I have the banjo image from the banjo warm-up file, so we can go and select that. Fingers crossed that actually took. Yeah, select, please. And then upload that file. There we go. Okay, success. Your memory has been saved. You can view your photographs here in /uploads banjo.jpg. So if I click on this link, there is my banjo. Look at that, nice and easy. Now, one quick note, I don't know if folks recognized it, but there's an oddity here where it includes the link /uploads banjo.jpg, but it is only going to the root of the file system. You might be able to see it down in the very, very bottom left as I hover over it. You do have just /banjo.jpg put in the root of the application. There is no real uploads folder. We could even go try that. Here, I'll go ahead and hit Control Control L to jump up to the location or the address bar. And if I try to go to /uploads, I don't know if it exists or does not exist. Let's try one that doesn't exist. Certainly gives us a 404. So uploads must exist, getting a forbidden, but it's not actually going there. Because if I go to banjo.jpg, it's just in the root of the web app. It's not putting it into uploads, which is interesting. A little bit of a gimmick there. But if I were to try and upload something that wasn't strictly a actual image file, like could I upload simply commands or just text files or anything really? If I go to temp bypass, I do have some command.txt file that I just randomly grabbed and threw it in there. If I hit upload file, does that look here? Is it still not uploading? Kind of an odd one. There we go. Success. Your memory's been saved. You can view your photographs here. Uploads, command.txt. And this was just like, hey, probably me testing CVE 2022-40444. Back in the MSDT days, and big spook on that. So that's not a real big deal, but I'm curious, what the heck is this application? You could be using something like Weblytics or something. I forget there are some plugins that might tell you, hey, what is this application built with? But notice that all of these files end in .php as we interact with them. Like I could go to index.html, but that's not real. It is simply index.php. And checking out the network traffic that if I hit F12 on my keyboard to fire up the developer tools, you'll notice, hey, even when receiving these files or anything given from this web server, you do see the response header powered by PHP, specifically version PHP 7.2.12. So peculiar, interesting. Even when I was developing this challenge, I kind of wanted a Privesc. I wanted something a little bit more than just, hey, grabbing the flag off of the file system. So I thought, I wonder if there's a vulnerability that I could get with like Apache and some version of PHP or whatever. I didn't actually find one, or at least one that I could get working. I think there was one for the specific Apache version, but I don't know. I didn't get much further with that. However, I would like to, and that's how I might improve this challenge for the future. But anyway, we could seemingly upload whatever we want, right? What is this line about for better security, we limit file extensions that could compromise our service? We know this is a simple PHP thing, so why don't I try and upload my own PHP web shell? Could I not? Let's get back to temp bypass. I'll open up another terminal so I can play with this. And then let's just simply subble a test.php, and we could super duper simple. Let's just do a PHP info function call. How about that? That should work for us, right? Let's go ahead and try to submit this. I'll click on that. I'll move back into temp bypass, and now I should be able to upload test.php. If I hit submit here, not a valid image to upload. So it does whine and complain about some of those PHP file extensions. We could try this with a PHP 3 or PHP 5 or even PHTML or some of the other variations that you might be able to get code execution with. I think that might be worth trying. Let's fire that up. Nope, it still whines and complains. Well, we are presented with the source code here, so we could explore and see what the heck this thing is. Let me go ahead and move from my downloads folder, that bypass 7-zip, and let's extract that into the current directory. There we go. So now I do have the Docker file. Looks good. And there's everything that we're working with. Hey, super duper simple. We copy, I'll set the syntax to bash here. Using the PHP Docker image, we take the source code of the web page and we create an uploads directory. Again, however, there's nothing seemingly in that as we interact with it. We also have a php.ini. I just use that to enable errors so I could kind of do some of my own testing and ensure that file uploads were accessible and visible. We copy the flag into the root of the file system and then go ahead and make that world readable with chmod A for all users plus R to read. Then we make everything owned under var www.html owned by the www.data user. That way we could, actually receive those pages, and then we expose port 80. What else do we have here? We do have our www directory, and this is everything. This is the whole way big page here. Check it out. If you move into the index.php, pretty boring. Again, that's that bootstrap template that I told you I just ripped off the internet. But the real interesting part is our save memories.php. You could click around for the silly cascading style sheets, CSS, or even images that are here. But again, that's just static, boring. Save memories.php is where the good stuff happens. You'll note that there is some PHP server-side code being executed. And then we turn on errors. We set our uploads directory as a target dir variable. Interestingly enough, we didn't see things upload to that. So I wonder what goes wrong here. If we check out the upload OK variable, that's just set to 1. And then we have an extensions deny list. Ooh, okay. Where we are not allowed to actually upload seemingly anything with the PHP, numeric end of it, PHPS, PHT, PHTM, PHTML, and all these other variations that might potentially get code execution with PHP. So that puts a blocker on us. We're not able to upload our own, hey, quick server-side code to let this thing execute it. We have the logic for our submit button and uploading a file. There are dumb, silly errors that we just spit out, receiving the path file extension, checking if it is too big of a file to upload, and going ahead and moving it into target file. Target file is ultimately the variable that we use, but target file is defined as just a base name. So it doesn't actually include that target directory variable. There's the gimmick, there's the flop. It's not putting it in uploads, even though we hopefully would have intended it to if the developer were doing this thing right. Then we get the success message. Otherwise, hey, we get an error. Okay, so super simple. Just a regular file upload procedure with a deny list of potential extensions for strictly PHP files. A little bit odd because, like, truthfully, this is just the most basic vanilla file upload code you could find off of like freaking W3 schools. Like anything that you could find online is just this process. The only hiccup that we have is the extensions deny list, and we are cross-checking that to verify, hey, we cannot upload images, or it says not a valid image to upload with this deny list. An allow list would certainly be a better move in this case, because again, you'll notice we were able to upload our commands.txt file. We could upload anything else other than extensions that match or are present in this deny list. So what could we do? We cannot seemingly run our PHP web shell or any other PHP code that we would want to, but we can upload anything other than that. And oddly enough, it doesn't go into the uploads folder, it just goes into the web root. So this is where you might be able to get a little bit clever. You might be able to play with some of the Apache configurations or stuff that will kind of control how your HTTP service, your HTTPD, HTTP daemon, right, would actually run and operate. If we can't use these file extensions to run and execute PHP code, what else might we be able to do? Well, let me kind of pull back the curtain here. This is what I was alluding to, and I'll see if I can bring this to the top, the front of the screen here to actually get this display. This was one of the recent tweets, even as November 28th, so not too long ago, from Al Hazred. Al Hazred says, hey, you know, here's a quick little web app tip. If you have file upload, but you can't upload PHP files, what if you could tell Apache, what if you could tell the web server to interpret any other arbitrary file extension as .php. If you upload the following as a .htaccess file, then that file extension that you choose is just as good as PHP. And we could do some Googling. Hey, we could go figure out what that add type syntax and structure might be, but this looks like a simple MIME type, right? It's just adding a little bit more interpretation and understanding of different file MIME types to another file extension. So they use CTH. I think Al Hazred's rocking some Cthulhu mythology shenanigans. That's not the right word. But pretty cool, very slick trick that I've never seen before. I'll be the first to admit. So I thought, I wonder if we could capture this in a small CTF challenge. So that is the intended solution. I'm not sure if others did anything different, but what if we were to go back to our terminal? We're still in our little temporary directory, so let's create our own .htaccess file, and let's copy this exact same syntax. Maybe we could change our .cth file extension to whatever. We'll call it to .subscribe. I think that's fine, and there we go. Now we've saved that file here. Let's try and upload that. I'll go back to our application in the say goodbye service here, and now let's go ahead and click back to our temp location. And now it won't show this automatically, but if I hit Control H, fingers crossed, no, will you give me any love? Not at all. Okay, right click, show hidden files. Did I not put this in the right place? Maybe I was in, okay, yeah, I was in www. Okay, so now I have this .htaccess file, just 42 bytes with simply that syntax that we've described here, where we're just adding the functionality of PHP code to file extensions or files that match the extension .subscribe. Let's go ahead and select that, hit upload, and success. Your memory has been saved. You can view your photograph here at /uploads. However, it is not at /uploads. There's a cutesy little gimmick where, it's actually going to be at the very root of the file system. Now, it tells me forbidden. I'm not able to access this, but I wonder if it's still working here. It's worth a try, because if I didn't upload this, in fact, let me try and upload this like with that empty. How about that? Let's play dumb for a moment here. If I go ahead and upload another file with my temp htaccess, www.htaccess file, upload that. There we go. Now that file should seemingly be empty, and I don't have that configuration set. Let's try and just get a PHP web shell from anywhere. Like, let's just grab one off the shelf. Super simple, super easy. Here's a quick example. That's just fine. Let me go ahead and grab this webshell.php. Cool. Let me save that, and I'll put that in, again, temp bypass webshell.php. Obviously, because of our file extension, we would not be able to work with that right off the bat. But let me move this .htaccess file. If I were to see this web shell file and kind of have a specific copy of it with a different file extension, like that .subscribe that we just specified, then we could get this thing to work. Let me try and change that just like this, and I'll upload that without changing the htaccess file just right now to see how this might die or break or otherwise. Let me go back to temp bypass. Let's upload the webshell.subscribe, hit submit, upload that, and now we can go visit that page. Now it just returns the raw file. Nothing cool here. No code being executed from the server. However, what if I were to add that htaccess file? Let me go ahead and grab that same location, grabbing our .htaccess file, and you know what? I should actually go make sure that that syntax is still there. Where do we put that? Here it is. And I put that in the parent directory. So let me save that htaccess file once again. And we'll get back to this. I'm going to reload this page just so I can make sure that's fresh, starting from a clean slate here. Let's go back to our temp bypass now that there's contents in this htaccess file, and we're setting this configuration so that it will execute PHP on .subscribe files. Let's select this and then upload it. And now again, we still cannot access this file. However, our web shell .subscribe is now giving us code execution. Now, all of that PHP code that we used to just not be able to run, but we could at least read and see because the server responded right back out to us. Now it's actually going to be processed. So I could run commands, could I not? I could just run, well, who am I? www.data. Look at that. I could run ID, of course, still, again, www.data, but I could just go ahead and check what's my ls. Well, hey, there's everything that we just uploaded. There's our banjo. There's all the memories that we might be saving, command.txt. We know that it is in the root of the file system, so let me run an ls/ here. I'll execute that, and there is our flag.txt, and super duper simple, super duper easy at this point. We figured it out. We just need to know that little gimmick. There is our flag.txt. Now, I realize that this is just a little finicky because you sort of had to know or be able to track down and realize, ooh, if I could actually upload just this .htaccess file, then you know what? Then we would be able to control how the PHP server will actually end up executing PHP. But that's it. Now that you know that trick, man, I sure hope you never forget it. And all kudos and credit to AlHasRed for bringing that to light here. I'd never seen that before. I just think that's super duper cool. That was the gimmick. That was Byepass, BYE Byepass for the NahamConCTF challenge. And that was getting what, 176 solves out of some warm-ups that were close to 1,000. So hey, new trick for folks that haven't seen it before. And when you have a file extension, when you have a file upload service where there's just a deny list on those PHP extensions, you know what? Maybe you could still do some damage. I think it's pretty cool to be able to explore that and maybe take a closer look. If you can upload .htaccess, maybe you can control configurations on the server itself. And with that, you know, I've been rambling for a little bit, but I hope you thought that was a cool one. I thought you actually enjoyed maybe hopefully a little bit of a little bypass challenge for Apache file uploads with PHP and maybe tricking it to get it to, hey, now configure and use some other file extensions to run PHP code. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, please, please, please do all those YouTube algorithms things. Please give our sponsors some love. There's always a link in the description, and it super duper helps me when you're just willing to, hey, gotta go check them out. I'm always grateful for that. If you don't mind, like, comment, subscribe, all the things that can help this channel grow. And if you're feeling up for it, if you're feeling super duper generous, you know I'm extremely grateful for support. There's Patreon and PayPal and other links in the description. But thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the NahamConCTF and the Capture the Flag competition. We're going to be doing a whole lot more of those, as we always do, coming up very, very soon, alongside these videos, alongside this content. So hope you learned something new. I hope you're having fun, and we'll keep doing it. We'll keep the party going. Thanks so much, everybody. I'll see you in the next video.